Alright guys, so I'm not going to be able to actually review anything else besides this for like the next 4 or 5 days because I'm going on vacation. So this is like the last movie I'm going to be reviewing for 4 to 5 days. So yeah, I'll just get into it. So The Gift stars Jason Bateman, Joel Edgerton, Rebecca Hall, and it's also written and directed by Joel Edgerton. And the basic plot is that Rebecca Hall's character and Jason Bateman's character, Robin and Simon, they're married, and they move into this new neighborhood, and they're just like, ooh, because it's a really nice house. And when they go out shopping one day, they find Simon finds one of his old high school friends, Gordo, being played by Joel Edgerton. And basically, they just catch up, and they're having a good time. But then Gordo starts to come over more frequently when Simon's not around, and his wife is only around, and then things just get very creepy. So Jason Bateman finally has to tell him to just stop visiting altogether. And from that point on, the film takes an incredible turn. And how did I like The Gift? This movie is a freaking... It's one of my favorite movies so far this year. I know I say that about a lot of movies, but look at my face. This is one of my favorite movies 2015 so far. Like, I cannot even put into words how much I love this movie. First of all, we have the performances. The performances by everyone was fantastic. Jason Bateman gives a great job. The only other dramatic role I've really seen him in is probably Disconnect, and while he was great in that as well, this is so much better, and he does a fantastic job. And while his character, I mean, I don't really want to say a lot about his character. I might get into spoilers for this review, but yeah, his character, I'll get into during spoilers. Joel Edgerton, he plays a creep in this movie. He does a perfect job. He does a masterful job with this movie. He plays, honestly, the perfect creep. And lately, Blumhouse has come out with movies that are very creepy. Did you see Mark Duplass in Creep? That was insane. And this, while it's not as bad as Mark Duplass, like, not as scary, it's still really freaking creepy. And Blumhouse really knows how to make a good creepy character. Joel Edgerton also directs the movie very well. There are a lot of and mainly this movie's built on tension, and he builds tension perfectly. I cannot wait to see what he directs next because he is honestly a tension mastermind. This movie's all about tension, and honestly, it is a slow burner, and people aren't gonna just. I know a lot of people that won't really be entertained by this movie because they're expecting a huge like horror movie, but you know what? The Gift is not that. The Gift is a very slow burning, and it's all about tension with this one, and that is phenomenal. He does a great job with that. For a first-time director, I have to give Joel Edgerton props. And the other thing about Joel Edgerton was obviously he wrote the movie. The movie has twists towards the end, and I was just like, what? Like, I mean, not because I was confused, but because it's written so well, and you do not see any of these twists coming, and it is perfectly done. I love the twists in this movie. They're like 2, and both of them worked completely. So I love that. But I've been waiting to talk about this. Rebecca Hall's character, man. I mean, she might be the lead of this movie because there are a lot of scenes with her. But I mean, the film mainly is carried by Jason Bateman's character, but Rebecca Hall gives an outstanding performance in here. I don't really think I've seen her in much else. I'm not sure, but I really do want to now because she plays the role perfectly. She's kind of going like crazy because of Gordo. She's being very paranoid that he's gonna like break in, and that's really crazy. And you really feel for her character. And whenever she's on screen, there is tension. I'm not gonna lie. That's not a spoiler either, but whenever a character is on screen post Jason Bateman telling Gordo off, this is not a spoiler, but there is so much tension goes on in each scene, and I was just in a theater. I was like, whoa, like I was overwhelmed with tension. It was so good. If I had to nitpick because honestly, this isn't a bad thing at all, but I guess the movie is slow, but that works for this movie. So yeah, but that's probably my one gripe about it. But honestly, that's not a big deal at all. Another thing is that this movie could have been PG-13 if it didn't have as many cuss words. And honestly, though, I felt like they were used properly in this movie. So I really do think this movie was near perfect. I mean, it's not perfect, like I said, but it's damn near close. All right, so I really love The Gift, as you guys can probably tell. And yeah, so now I'm gonna get into spoilers. But before I do that, I'm just gonna give my rating out to you. If you haven't seen The Gift, I'm gonna give The Gift probably like a 4.8 out of 5. This is definitely one of my favorite films so far this year. Definitely in my top. I guarantee this will be in my top 15 by the end of the entire year, because I absolutely loved this movie. So overall, that was my review of The Gift. I will be going into spoilers now. So yeah, spoilers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, so we're getting into spoiler territory for The Gift. Now, the one thing I want to first talk about is how they have, at the very end, you see the huge box, and it has a baby's cradle, and you know something's up. You're just like, this is the scene where they got all the videotapes, and this is the scene. Even though they aren't all videotapes, it's still very creepy. The first tape, or the first thing, can't really remember what the first thing was. Oh god, what was the first thing? Oh, the first thing was the key to the house, and that was, no, I mean, how could you get creepier than that? You'd think, but they managed to do it. Number 2, while I did see this one coming, I still thought it was really well done. He has the audio recording of Jason Bateman talking bad about him with Rebecca Hall, and I did see that coming, but I still really enjoyed it. And then the third one, which is the one I have been waiting for. I've just been waiting for. It was perfect. So yeah, everything. I mean, that was amazing. And then when you see that he's videotaping, and you're not 100% sure if the baby is Joel Edgerton's baby or if it's Jason Bateman's. And I love how the movie left you in suspense for that. You're like, what? Is it Jason Bateman's? Is it Joel Edgerton's? I'm not really sure. So it's up for interpretation. Personally, I still think it's Jason Bateman's. But you can't really tell because of the way that they're talking on the phone at the end. He's like, yeah, I didn't do anything to your wife. Or maybe I did. I couldn't tell you. I mean, honestly, even though I'm saying I think it might be Jason Bateman, I have no idea whatsoever. That's just my thought process right now. I'm still processing this movie. It's absolutely crazy, and overall, it just teaches you, don't ever talk bad about it. Don't ever say anything mean to high school people, or this will happen to you, and your entire life will be ruined. So, yeah, all in all, I love The Gift. I mean, it's one of my favorite movies so far this year. So, yeah, that was my review for The Gift. I don't even know how long this was, but, yeah, that was my review for The Gift. I really hope you guys did enjoy that. If you have seen The Gift, which you probably have if you're still watching, comment below what you thought of it. Did you love it as much as me? Did you not like it? Did you think it was way too slow and not enough, like, scares? Whatever you thought, comment below. I want to know. I'm pretty sure everyone will at least, like, enjoy this movie. But if you don't, tell me why. So, yeah, until my next review, which should be in maybe a week, I am Random Mr. 411. And I will see you all later.